Okay, so as discussed that we will be talking about relation of arrays and pointers. See, arrays and pointers, they have got a relation. What is that? See, we declare arrays by writing int a n, maybe n is hash defined as 100, or to be more precise, maybe int a 100. How do we declare arrays? We declare arrays as int star a. Now what happens is, when we write int star a, it means a is an address. That address will contain an integer. When we write int a 100, actually what happens is 100 integers are declared. And how can you access those? By writing a0, a1, a2, a3 and so on. So see, this is how you do that. When you write int a 100, a0 is an integer, a1 is an integer, a2 is an integer, a3 is an integer, and so on up to a99. These are all integers. Now what is int star a? Int star a will mean a is an address, maybe address randomly, I am saying FFF4. FFF4 is an address, I have called it a. That address FFF4 may contain anything, may contain any other integer, but it has to contain an integer because it is int star a. It means a is an address, that address should contain an integer. So a is an address, that address should contain an integer. But int a 100 means a0, a1, a2, a3 and so on up to a99 are all different integers. Now, interesting thing is, when you declare int a 100, this a0, a1, a2, a3 up to a99, the integers that are declared actually get stored or are allocated to consecutive memory locations. Example, maybe suppose FF4 that contains a0. If that is so, then the next memory location, I am considering int a 100, so a0 is an integer, a1 is an integer, all these are integers. So integers means it will take two memory locations. In case of int a 100, a0, a1, a2, a3 up to a99 are stored in consecutive memory locations. I mean to say, if a0 is stored in FFF4, then next a1 is stored in FFF6, the next memory location. Because remember, FFF4 and FFF5, two memory locations will be needed to store an integer a0. In the same way, the next memory location FFF8 will contain a2. The next memory location FFFA, 8 and 9, after that comes the hexadecimal number a. FFFA will contain a3 because a means in hexadecimal 10. So after 8, 9, a. So FFFA. In this way it will continue FFFC because a and b will be used to store a3. FFFC will contain a4. In this way things will continue, and this a99 will be stored in the memory location which comes normally over here. That you will have to calculate. FFFC, then FFFE, then FFFE. After that comes what? After that comes maybe something memory location next to it. So in this way it is stored. However, if you write int a 100, then this is how a0, a1, a2, a3, a4 these are stored. Now, what is this a? Automatically, when you write int a 100, a becomes a pointer to an integer. Internally, automatically, a is like int star a. Please understand, you are not writing int star a. You are not writing int star a, you are writing int a 100. But automatically, internally, int star A is declared, A automatically becomes pointer to an integer. That is, A automatically becomes a memory location which can contain an integer. Which memory location can you tell me? If int A100 is written and A0 starts from FFF4, A automatically becomes FFF4. A automatically becomes FFF4. Am I able to explain to you? A is this memory location, the first memory location. A is the address of A0. When you declare int A100, internally as if int star A is declared. That is, A is declared as a pointer to an integer, as if A is declared as an address which can contain an integer. Which address? The address of the first integer within int A100. That is, A is the address of A0. What I meant to say is, A is same as ampersand A0. Please understand this. A is same. A becomes same as ampersand A0. Address of A0, that is A. But A0, A1, A2, A3, A4, these you have already seen are integers in previous programs. If you write int A100, A0, A1, A2, A3, A4, these up to A99 all are integers. However, A is a pointer. It contains an address. It is an address. That address contains an integer. So A is which address? The address of A0. So, can you understand one thing? If A and ampersand A0 are all same, please check what is A plus 1. What is A plus 1? If this is A is address of an integer, A plus 1 means the address will increase by not 1 but 2 because it is address of an integer. So what is this A plus 1? A plus 1 does not it automatically take it over here. Please see this. Automatically if A is FFF4 in our example, is not A plus 1 automatically FFF6? If A is FFF4, because A is address of an integer, because A0 is an integer, A plus 1 should not it increase by 2 and become FFF6. But what is that? Address of A1. So is not A plus 1 and ampersand A1 same? Please understand, A plus 1 is not it ampersand A1. Similarly, can't you understand that A plus 2 is same as ampersand A2? Because A plus 2 means automatically it will come to, from FFF4 it will come to FFF8 in our example. It comes to FFF8 means that it is the address of A2. So A plus 2 is the same as address of A2. In reverse words, can you say this thing? I will just try to reverse this and say like this. Say A. What is then star A? What is the A is an address, no doubt. So in our example, A is FFF4. So what is star A? Content of A. So the content of that address, what is the content of that address? A0 itself. So this is A0. So if you think like this, please have a look at this. What is star of star A plus 1 within bracket? Please understand this. What is star of A plus 1? A is FFF4. A plus 1 is FFF6. So A plus 1 is FFF6. Content of A plus 1. Star of A plus 1 is content of A plus 1. The content of FFF6. What is that? That is A1. So do you understand this? A is address of A0. But content of A is basically A0. It's the same thing. See, if A is the address of A0, then definitely the content of A is A0. There is nothing difficult in it. If A is the address of A0, content of A is definitely A0. If A plus 1 is the address of A1, then content of A plus 1 is definitely A1. In this way, same way you can write content of A plus 2 must be equal to A2. Is not it so? If I continue like this, understand that if I continue, then in our example, A plus 99 will definitely be equal to the address of A99. Don't you understand? Is not it very simple? I'll just take these things in one line. So don't you understand this? This is very simple. So if you can understand this, then definitely this is also true, that if address A plus 99 is address of A99. Why? Because over here you see this is A plus 99. If you increase it by 99, it will definitely reach here. So if I go for, similarly if I go for content of the address A plus 99, then no doubt it is A99. If address A plus 99, address of A99 is A plus 99, then the content of A plus 99 is definitely A99. It's very simple. See over here, content of A plus 99, that has to be A99. So generally speaking, can I say like this, that A plus I, that is address of AI. Similarly, I can also write content of A plus I is equal to AI. I think all these are clear to you. Is not it so? So it is like int star A. When I write int A100, it is basically writing like int star A with A0, A1, A2, A3, all these are integers, being integers. Now, I will now write one part of the array. If you remember, how do you scan an array? If you remember, what we used to do was, we used to write printf enter the number of values. You used to write like this. If you remember, I will comment out all these sections. Enter the number of values. You used to write like this. Then you used to scan, you used to write scanf, scanf %d ampersand AI. This is what you used to write. Ampersand n you used to write. Then you used to tell printf enter the n values one by one. Do you remember this? Enter the n values one by one. Let me write it. Enter the %d values one by one. This is what you used to write. And then what you used to do? Then you used to scan them in a for loop. That is, for I equal to 0, I less than n, I plus plus. What you used to do was scanf %d ampersand AI. You know that in a scan always we have to write ampersand. Why? Because you check this. When you were actually scanning, what were you doing? The meaning of that, what were you doing? You were doing basically, I was 0 initially, say n is 5. Now I is, you start the scanning of 4 numbers one by one. Here you %d values, the %d has to be replaced by n. Now the 4 values one by one. If n was 4, if n has been inputted as 4, you are writing enter the 4 values one by one. Now for I equal to 0, I less than n, I plus plus. What is I? I is 0 initially. So what are you doing? Scanf %d ampersand A0. What is ampersand A0? This is ampersand A0 means you are presenting this address FFF4 to get this value A0. Next I is 1. So what are you doing? You are increasing I to 1. That means you are now presenting address of A1. You are presenting address of A1 to scan this A1. You are presenting FFF4, FFF6, FFF8 in this way to scan the different values. So when I is 2, you are basically presenting ampersand A2. What are you presenting? You are presenting FF F8 in order to scan A2. In this way, I is 3. What are you presenting? Scanf ampersand A3. You are presenting FF FA in our example. So you check, you can automatically understand then cannot I replace this scanf ampersand AI, and instead of that can I write scanf %d A plus I? Will it work for 0 also? This will work. See, ampersand A2 is A plus 2. Because A plus 2 and address of A2 are same. You are presenting, suppose I is 2. You are presenting address of A2 in order to scan the value A2. So instead of presenting the address of A2, you are presenting A plus 2. Because A plus 2 and address of A2 are same. Address of A2 and A plus 2. So you are presenting A plus 2. Will it work for 0? Yes, it will work for 0, because presenting address of A0 is as good as presenting A plus 0. Check this, address of A0 and presenting A plus 0. A plus 0 is A itself. You can always write A plus 0. So instead of presenting address of A0, you are presenting A plus 0 when I is 0. So cannot you write this? Now when you are printing, similarly, say using pointers, I don't use this concept of AI, I don't write AI anymore, I access it by A plus I, always possible. Now when we were printing these values one by one, then after scanning, what were you writing? Printf the different values of the array are. The different values of the array are. Here you put /n like this. Then you go for a for loop for I equal to 0. You remember this, I less than n, I plus plus. What are you saying? Printf %d AI. This is what you used to write. Because when you are printing, you are not presenting the address, you are trying to print the values. When you are scanning, you are presenting FFF6 to catch the A1. Because you are saying put the value that you scan now, A1, you put it in FFF6. That's why you are putting the addresses. So you can replace that by A plus I. It's the same thing. Now when you are printing, you are not printing the addresses, you are printing the values A0, A1, A2, A3, A4, like the values you are printing. So here also you are saying A0, A1, A2, A3, A4, the values you are printing. So over here also, can you instead of this write printf %d, instead of writing AI, can I write star A plus I? You have seen it's the same thing. Instead of printing AI, you are saying star of A plus I. See, instead of printing A2, you are saying print the content of address A plus 2. Same thing. A2 is the value. You are saying content of A plus 2. Yes, it is A2. Same thing. So you can say that also. So I think to understand this, you can write a program of maybe addition of all the values of an array. Simple program that we used to write. But this time using the concept of pointers inbuilt within an array. I can say like this. Sorry, this is star. So if I write then a program to add the contents of an array. So this is add all the elements of an array. Add all the elements of an array. This program I want to write. How can I write this program? Very simple. Firstly, I will use int a, maybe n, because n is hash defined as 100. N is hash defined as 100. I can write int an, followed by definitely I will need an I to iterate. I will need a small n to get hold of the number of values, and definitely I will also need a sum to add all those values and then print. So definitely first thing I will write printf enter the number of values. That is the first thing I will write. Now that I will scan within scanf %d ampersand n. Then what will I write? Printf, enter the n values one by one, enter the n values one by one, but I cannot write n. If I write n, then it will actually print n, enter the n values one by one, which will not mean anything. So I will write enter the %d values one by one, and I will replace that by n. So if user enters 5, it will say enter the 5 values one by one. You remember all this. Now over here I will scan for I equal to 0, I less than n, I plus plus. Scanf %d ampersand ai. Do you remember? I will write a plus I. Same thing. A plus 2 is address of a2. A plus 0 is address of a0. So ampersand ai and a plus I are same. I can write over here ampersand ai. Ampersand ai is same as a plus I. I can write a plus I. Now similarly, after scanning all this, what is my next job? My next job is to calculate the sum. So for I equal to 0, I will have to initialize a sum variable to 0. Sum equal to 0, I less than n, I plus plus. These are pretty old and easy programs that you have written earlier. This hardly needs any explanation. Sum plus equal to ai. Instead of writing ai, cannot I write star of a plus I? Is not it so? Star of a plus I is same as ai. ai and star of a plus I is same because a2 is the value. Where is it staying? A2 is staying in the address a plus 2. So the content of a plus 2 is a2 itself. I can write sum plus equal to star a plus I. Now I will need to write printf the sum of elements of the sum of all the elements, the sum of all the elements of the array is %d. How will I do that? How will I replace %d with? What will I replace %d with? Sum, definitely. So this program is done now. You can run this program and see that it will run exactly the way you want it. It is the same thing. Only thing is, instead of using ampersand ai or ai, I am using the pointers and doing. See, nowhere I have used ai. I have always done it using a pointer. Now you can always ask me, what's the advantage? Yes, I'm coming to it. What's the advantage of doing things like this? I'm coming back to it very soon. Or what is the advantage of using not ai but star of a plus I or a plus I? What is the advantage, or what is the advantage of seeing array in the concept of pointers? Like I have, first thing that I have done is seeing the arrays in the concept of pointers. What is the advantage of doing that? Let me run this program first, then I will come back. But you should see that this program will run fine. Enter the number of values, 5. Enter the 5 values one by one. 6, 7, 8, 2 and 3. 6 and 7, 13, 13 and 8, 21, 21 and 2, 23, 23 and 3 is 26. The sum of all the elements of the array is 26. It is running fine. Only thing is, over here when we are writing enter the %d values one by one, here you should have given a /n, so that the entering starts from the next value, next line. Enter the number of values, say this time 4. Enter the 4 values one by one. 5, 9, 8, alter, enter that, some error I did, na? 4 values one by one, 5, 9, 8 and 2. So 5 and 9, 14, 14 and 8, 22 and 2, 24. The sum of all the elements of the array is 24. So this program is running fine. Now what is the advantage of doing this? That's the most important thing. For that, I will introduce in front of you one very interesting concept called malloc. See this malloc. What is this? Please understand what will be the advantage of you looking at arrays in the concept of pointers. For that, you see this hash define n100. Why did you do that? Why did you write int a n? Because you are basically trying to allocate 100 numbers, 100 spaces, 100 integers. 100 integers means how many memory locations you are trying to allocate? 200 memory locations, because each integer takes 2 memory locations. So int a n means 100 memory locations you are trying to allocate. Now, if you are trying to allocate 100 into 200 memory locations, now how many numbers are you actually going to use? User was saying, say 4. Enter the number of values. User is saying 4. So how many memory locations you are ultimately using? A0, A1, A2, A3. That is 4 into 2, 8 memory locations. For that, how many did you allocate? 200. What about the rest memory locations? Total waste. You may think, whatever, there is nothing in it. Let us waste it. But please understand, big to big programs you will be writing in future. You will be writing big apps. You will be writing games where huge memory locations will be used. If you waste memory locations like this, there is no end to it. And there, how many memory locations you will need, that also you don't know. That is the biggest problem. Suppose you have defined hash define n100. You declare int a n. Now suppose user says 200 numbers. User can always say, you are doing small programs, so yes, 4 or 5 or 6 is enough. But suppose user says 200. There is no end to it. You may say, okay, then I will define hash define n1000. But then if user says 2000, you never know. So how many memory locations will you allocate? Is not it better not to allocate memory locations like this, or random number of memory locations like this? Instead, allocate exactly that many memory locations which the user needs. Say user says n4, 4. Then you allocate 4 into 2 because you know 4 integers. So you allocate 4 into 2 equal to 8 memory locations, not more than that. I think you understand. So for that, I will not declare int a n at all. I have told you that when you declare int a n, internally it is declared like int star a. After all, a is a pointer. So instead of declaring it like int star a, instead of declaring it like int a n, why not I declare it like int star a? I myself declare it as int star a. Then after I get n, the value of n, suppose user enters 7 numbers, I myself allocate 7 into 2, that is 14 memory locations starting from a. Then the same concept of array remains. What does int a n do? Int a n does allocate n memory locations, or n into 2 memory locations starting from the address a. That is what it does. See over here. When you declare int a 100, what does it do? It allocates 100 memory locations starting from the memory location which is a. So you do it yourself. You declare int star a, not int a n. Then after user enters n, you allocate that into 2 number of memory locations yourself. You allocate after that. But how to do that? How to allocate memory locations? For that, this malloc is used. Malloc stands for what? Memory allocation. So memory allocation or malloc, I will show you how. But before that, before I explain to you how we use malloc, let me first show you this concept of array that I have told you, these pointers, addresses I have shown you. Let me show you in practical by printing the addresses myself. Say over here, I don't print the sum, I get rid of the sum. Instead I scanf a plus I. What I do is I don't print the sum of all the elements. Instead, look up over here what I have done. I have just told that printf enter the values one by one. I have scanned those values one by one in a plus I. Now suppose I actually want to show you that how it is happening, how the things are getting stored. You can see this then. See what I am trying to do. For the elements of the array, I am just printing firstly printf. I am only printing the elements of the array. Printf, the elements of the array are whatever I have scanned, I am just printing them. The elements of the array are colon slash, then slash n, then this. For how to print the elements of the array? Same thing as scanf, almost. For I equal to 0, I less than n, I plus plus. What I do is I simply printf. What I do is %d. So here I print ai. Instead of printing ai, I can print star of a plus I. Star of a plus I is same as what? It is same as ai. I print them. Now if I write in the way it is stored in the memory, that is, I see in which locations are they stored. %p colon %d. See what I want to do. %p I replace it by a plus I, that is the addresses. I just print the addresses and then I show the memory locations where they are stored. Do you get it what I am trying to do? I have scanned all these values one by one. I have scanned all the A0, A1, A2 and everything. Now after that I am printing the address which is a plus I, and then I am printing a plus i's content. So it will show which memory locations contains what, and over here after printing everything I put a slash n. After every element I put a slash n. See what happens. Alt R enter. Sorry, I missed out something. What did I miss out? Oh, okay. This printf, after this printf I have not put the semicolon. So let me run it now. Alt R enter. Enter the number of values, say 6 values. Enter the 6 values one by one. 6, 7, 2, 4, 3, 9. 6 values. See. The elements of the array are, see where they have been allocated. The address 0542, 6, 0544, 7, 0546, 2, 0548, 4, 054A, 3, 054C, 9. See, alternate elements, one consecutive memory locations have been used to store the elements of the array. 6, 7, 2, 4, 3, 9 have been stored in consecutive memory locations starting from 0542, 0542, 0544, because 6 takes 2 memory locations. 0546, then again 0548, then 2 more 0548, then 0546, in this way they have been stored. Interesting. So you tell me what is A over here. A is 0542, A0 is 6, but A is 0542. That is why when you are printing initially when I is 0, what are you printing over here? A plus 0. So you are printing %p, A plus 0. What are you printing basically? First time A. So A is 0542. You can print A separately later and see printf. The first memory location used. The first memory location used is %p, you can write. %p, A. You know that the first memory location used is A. So run this program again. 3 numbers this time I will enter, just make it short. 4, 9, 1. The elements of the array are 0568, 4, 0568, 9, 056C, 1. The first memory location used is 0568. Interesting? You have printed the addresses and have seen that how the array is stored. I think you have understood this. Now I go to malloc. What I was saying? I was saying that I will not be using int n. Instead I will be using int star a. Here I have used int star a. But how many numbers do I need? That I need to allocate. You firstly ask from the user how many numbers you will enter. User has already told that n. Now you say malloc. Malloc means allocate memory. And within that you say how many? N number of memories I need? No, I need n into 2 number of memories. See, do you understand? I am saying enter the number. I have not said int n. In fact, hash define n100 is not needed anymore. I will not use this n because this hash define n100, then int n is allocating extra memory locations which are wasted. Or maybe it is not sufficient. Maybe you are using 100, user will say 200 numbers he will enter. So int n will fail in that case. So what you are saying is, you are saying scanf %d ampersand n first. How many numbers? So you allocate, memory allocate means allocate memory. How many? N into 2. But memory allocate, this malloc, does one very interesting thing. It returns the first address that it has allocated. The first address that it has allocated, that it returns. Where do you want to receive it? You want to receive it in A. This is how you write it. A equal to malloc n into 2. What are you saying is allocate memory. Allocate memory means how many numbers? 7. So you are going to vary this from A0 to A6. See in star A. You are declaring a pointer like this. See in star A. You are declaring the first. You are declaring this address, suppose. Now you are saying that enter the number of values. You scan that %d ampersand n. Then you are saying allocate memory. How many? N elements needed. So n into 2 memory allocations. The first memory location you return, that address you return, that you catch in A, because the first memory location is this one, that you want to hold in A. Malloc 100 means it will allocate FFF4 to the 100 memory, 100 into 2, 200 memory locations. But it will return the first memory location FFF4. Where will you receive it? You receive it in A. Then only you can access this as A1, A2, A3, A4 and so on. Whatever you need. So it becomes like an array. Instead of declaring an, you are declaring int star A, and then you are saying A equal to malloc n into 2. See, this program will also run fine. This program will still run fine after allocating like this. Let me run this program and show you. Alt R enter, 2 errors. Why 2 errors? Okay, malloc. Malloc is a problem. I have written malloc, but if you write malloc, you need to do one thing. You need to hash include another thing. Why, I will tell you later. See, till now you have not understood that why we write hash include stdio.h, what hash include conio.h. Like that you remember for the time being that if you use malloc, then you need to write something like hash include stdlib.h. I forgot to do that. Now you run it, it will run fine. Sorry, there is another problem. See, malloc, I forgot that. Malloc is returning what? An address. Now that address is what? That address can be anything, address to anything. Malloc does not know that this you are allocating for integer, or you are allocating for float, or you are allocating for anything else. It is only allocating memory. But you know that A is an integer, pointed to an integer. So that typecasting is needed. Remember, you did a typecasting from int to float. Like that, you are saying int star. Int star means you are using malloc to allocate the memory. Then you are saying int star means you are typecasting it to int star because A is int star A. See this. A is int star A. So because you are wanting to receive this address in A, you typecast it to int star because malloc does not know that this address it is returning is address to integer or address to float. Maybe it is returning address to float. Maybe malloc is returning address to float, but you are trying to receive it in A, which is address of an integer. Is not so? Malloc is returning address of something else, maybe address of float, it does not know. But you are trying to receive it in A, which is address of an integer, so you typecast it to int star. Like when you were receiving a float variable in an integer variable, do you remember you used to do A equal to maybe float B, then float B divided by float C. You remember we used to do something like this? So this thing is needed, this typecasting is needed because malloc is returning address of anything, it does not know, maybe float star. Because A is integer, pointed to integer, so you receive it in int star. Certain compilers do not need this typecast, however the compiler I am using, it has shown that it needs this typecast. So it's better to do it always, it's a good habit to typecast it to the address you are assigning it to. But what is the meaning you have done? Int star A, malloc n into 2 after you scan how many numbers? Malloc that into 2 because after all you are doing integer, then int star, you receive it in A equal to int star. You run this, alt R, enter. Enter the number of values 6, enter the 6 values one by one, 6, 9, 3, 0, 4, 5. The elements of the array are, see 07, B4, 07, B6, 07, B8, BA, BC, BE. This is where they have been allocated 6, 9, 3, 0, 4, 8. The first memory location used is 07, B4. So this is absolutely fine. You have understood? See, nowhere I have declared it as int AN. I have declared it like int star A. Then I have allocated memory one after the other like what happens in an array. See this step I am trying to point out where you declare int AN. What happens is starting from A, n into 2 memory locations are automatically allocated starting from A. That automatically happens. Here what you are doing is you are doing it manually. You are writing int star A. Int star A automatically means A is an address. Now you are saying malloc n into 2. You are explicitly allocating, not automatically, explicitly telling that n into 2 these many memory locations you allocate for me, and malloc will return the first memory location from where it has allocated. You are receiving it in A after typecasting it to A's own type. A is int star, so you are typecasting it to int star and then receiving. So you are doing that thing manually instead of using this concept of int AN. There is no difference. In fact, if you instead of A plus I use ampersand AI, still no problems because you are after all ampersand AI automatically means A plus I. So it hardly matters. Here also instead of A plus I, you can write ampersand AI, hardly matters, still it will remain the same. Same thing it will show. Instead of writing star of A plus I, you can only write AI. Still this will work. Let me run and see after deleting this. These things will again create error. So let me delete this first. Comment this one out. Comment this one out. Now you run this program, still same thing. Address of AI you have written, not A plus I. Address of AI and A plus I are all the same. Similarly, ampersand AI is same as A plus I. And AI is same as star of A plus I. So it's the same thing that is happening. Let me run this program again. Alt R, enter. Enter the number of values, 4 values. Say 3, 2, 9, 7. The elements of the array are starting from 07B4, 3297. The first memory location used is 07B4. So I think you understand this. I will request all of you, you will take a bit of break now, but in this break what you do is, you try to write array programs using this concept. The same program, you can use AI, you can use this ampersand AI, everything. But you don't write int AN. Instead you write int star A, followed by A equal to malloc n into 2 int star. Use float, use int, use anything. I will also come back and do similar programs using array, maybe one more program or 2 more programs using array, and there I will not write int AN. I will write int star A followed by A equal to int star malloc n into 2. Is not so? So let us come back exactly from this point after a bit of break. Thank you so much.